So, on the side of the Warren Cup, with the withered erotic conqueror and his delicatessen, a dainty male, depicts male on male rape. Even a man of infamous and suspicions had the same right as other free men not to have his body subject to forced sex. Julius Caesar defined rape as forced against boy, woman, or anyone. The rapist was subject to execution. A male prostitute or entertainer was infamous and excluded from the legal protections extended to citizens in good standings. As a matter of law, slaves could not be raped, for they were considered property and not legally a person. The slave owner, however, could prosecute the rapist for property damage. British Museum, let me see, what was it? British Museum. And this is the thought process made. I'm not sure where I was going with that, but anyway, there was a joke made about being gay back in the day, in the 4th century A.D. Galileo, a Roman poet, wrote a joke, and the joke was, 3 men in the bed together, 2 are sinning, 2 are sinned against. Doesn't make that 4 men? You're mistaken. The man on either end is implicated once, but the one in the middle does the double duty. In other words, a train is being annulled to the first man, penetrates the second man, who in turn penetrates the third. The first 2 are sinning, and the last 2 are being sinned against. That's not even funny, but anyway, it says, cross-dressing appears in Rome literature and are in various ways to mark the uncertainties and ambiguities of gender presentation, rarely or ambiguously as transvestive, fetishism, gender, and ambiloquy, ambiloquy. I don't know. Guilty, bilicky, ambiguity. Anyway, was a characteristic of the priest of the goddess Cybele, known as Gali, whose ritual attire included items of women's clothing. They are sometimes considered a transgender or a transsexual priesthood, since they are required to be castrated in imitation of arts. In the 4th century, legal prohibition against marriage between males began to appear. A series of laws regulated male and male sex were introduced during the social crisis of the 3rd century, from the statutory rape of minors to marriage between males. By the end of the 4th century, passive men under Christianity empire were punished and burned to death, or punished by sword. was the punishment for men coupling like a woman under the Theodosian Code. It is in the 6th century under Justin, Justinian, that's his name, that legal and moral disclosure of male and male sex becomes distinctively Abrahamic. I can't spell or barely read, man. Anyway, Aramic. Aromatic? Abramatic. I don't know. Anyway, all male and male sex, passive or active, no matter who the partner was, declared contrary to nature and of or was punishable by death. Male on male sex was pointed to as cause for God's wrath. Following a series of disasters around 542 to 559, you know, that's how they looked at it, as they were being punished by God for their ill-mannered behavior. Um, their abomination, their sacrilege, they're going against the covenant of God. Okay, so so even back then, they outlawed the practice and punished homosexuality with death. But seemingly today, in the dark, they've been practicing the same homosexuality rituals, Baphomet sacrifices, uh, you know, human sacrifice rituals and pedophilia acts. A lot of this has come to light from the colonial Roman Empire and the practices of the Catholic Church, from the past to present day.